Hello, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so good. Thank you for joining me. So today's reading is what is the gossip on you, whether you're asking about a specific person or a specific group of people or just in general. So yeah, what is the gossip on you? There are 3 groups for you to choose from. We have group 1. And the message on this card says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So that's for group 1. And then for group 2, we have this card. And it says, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. And for the 3rd group, we have this card. And the message on this card says, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Okay, so there's 3 groups for you to choose from. Group 1, 2, and 3. If you do want to take a moment to choose your group, choose your card, take your time, pause the video if you need to. But I will see you all in your readings. Okay, hey, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the first group with this message and with the pink cloud splatter thing on it, then this reading is for you. So what is the gossip on you? All right, so I'll start off with your tarot cards. I'll put these over here. So we do have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Sun in reverse. So what is the gossip for this group? So there are a few people talking and gossiping about you not having to work hard. Yeah, so there's either someone in particular or there's a few people talking about certain things coming easily to you, or maybe you have an easy job or you have a job that makes life easy for you. Some people are jealous and kind of misinformed about your perceived ease in life. If any of you are out of work, people talk about that, or if you work from home, then people gossip about that as well. People do talk about certain areas of your life moving slowly. And the areas of your life that people perceive as moving slowly could be areas that are more directed towards pleasure or fun or passion or excitement, And the gossip about you is that you have been burned in the past, that it's made you cautious and have some issues regarding commitment. People also talk about you seeming a bit scattered, maybe a bit nervous as well. This may not be in general, it could be more so right now. But they speak about how you have experienced a lot of disappointment in life. The gossip on you is that you are impatient. In what way? For some of you, the gossip on you is that maybe you're impatient in general. I'm going to see if I can clarify otherwise. For some of you, this could be in terms of having a relationship or having a family unit or something like that. It could be something you are more aware of or something you feel more intuitively. This could be impatient about something that you have wanted for a long time, or something that you have worked hard for. But yeah, people or a specific person, they're talking about you being anxious, possibly depressed. They also say you aren't the best with money in their opinion, their perspective. They also talk about how you haven't managed to finish something that you've started. This is something that would have helped you progress, something that would have helped you grow and move forward, a project or a side hustle. And this again, this could just be from their perspective, even if it has worked out for you, but maybe not a lot of people know about it. But this could be more so referring to something that other people would already have knowledge of, like something that you were pursuing that didn't work out for you. But yeah, they talk about that. There is someone specific gossiping about you not making enough of an effort with them. This could be possibly someone new in your life. They could be older. For some, this is someone who's recently or maybe newly returned to your life. So it's still kind of maybe like a new energy, even if you did know them before. But yeah, people also gossip about how you don't get a lot of freedom, if any. They do talk a lot about you being unhappy or seeming unhappy, or from their perspective, or not having a lot of things in your life that make you happy. They do talk about you being in a negative energy or a mindset. So there are a few people who do gossip about you not having a lot of energy. This could be, for some of you, maybe it's like health, or you're just feeling drained. This could be actually not having a lot of energy for someone in particular, or like not having a lot of energy outside of the things that you are like already currently doing, or the things that you have to do. Again, like if any of you have your own business, or had your own business in the past, or just something that you were or are currently exploring that you'd hoped or kind of thought would take off. There's someone talking about you possibly losing money through this venture, or that it failed. And like, say for example, it did provide you with an income. They say that you lost your income from this particular thing. But yeah, they talk about from their perspective, it seems like you are trapped, or you feel trapped. And there are a few people who are talking about how you will be successful, and that it's just delayed for you. And there are also a few people who are talking about and hoping that your light and your happiness returns. Right, so we have you are talented and amazing. So yeah, the gossip on you is that you are extremely talented. But again, like it could just be moving slowly for you, or at least, from the outside looking in, like that's what it looks like. You're talented. It's like they know you're going places, but it could just be delayed right now for whatever reason, whether it's like external things like going on in your life that's kind of blocking you from taking action, or whether it's just kind of moving slowly and to pick up like the pace and stuff like that. But whatever the case is, like they see that you're talented, and yeah, and that's what they talk about. So we also have detox. So there are people talking about you, or that it appears that you have done work or made the effort to remove certain things from your life, like whether this is unhealthy people, food, environment, situations, but people or a specific person, they are talking about how you have managed to kind of let go of certain things that were or are affecting you negatively, even if this is something that you're still kind of trying to purge from your life. But yeah, there are a few people talking about that you, even though, you know, there's some people saying that you do seem like a bit anxious or depressed or, you know, unhappy. There are people who, you know, even though they see you that way, they also kind of gossip about you seeming like you're in a healthier place. So we have clearing negative energy. So yeah, the gossip on you is that you are clearing negative energy, negative people, situations from your life. With the 10 of Wands, it could have been like really difficult. Or you kind of had to remove these things because it was becoming a burden, because it was becoming overwhelming and draining. And that was also clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, they do say you are leaving certain things behind, and maybe, let me see, maybe embracing your independence more after leaving these things behind, even though it could have been hurtful or difficult. Let me see something. Now, this feels mostly in regards to external situations as opposed to like releasing negativity from within you. It does feel like it is more so about other people or places, like external to you. So we also have life-changing epiphany or experience. So the gossip on you is that you did have an epiphany. You had like a wake-up call. You had this light bulb moment when it came to, this feels like it is more so in regards to your past than anything else. Like you had this epiphany in the past, and it helped you see clearer, it helped you see what you had to let go of, helped you see what you had to, you know, do next in order to kind of benefit you and benefit your life in positive ways, you know. So that's what either a person or a group of people are talking about. How you have made, or you're in the process of making changes. Actually, do you know what? For some of you, this is in addition to what I just said, but for some of you here, there are people talking about how they've had like a wake-up call and a realization where you're concerned. What have they realized about you? Queen of Wands. So whoever it is that's had this realization about you, it feels like they've realized that you are successful, or that you are or will be successful, sorry. Like that you will be the Queen of Wands, you know, if you aren't already. And I know this sounds kind of obnoxious, but for some of you, they've realized that you're better than them in ways. So we have bathroom, and there's a lot of blue energy here as well. What does blue represent? I can't really remember. Is that throat chakra? I don't know. Anyway, so we have bathroom here as well. Flush away all that no longer serves you. So the gossip on you is that you have gotten rid of certain things that don't serve you anymore, or that you're in the process of doing so. Clarified by the Tower, which is also blue as well. So the gossip on you is that you have walked away and made a lot of changes in regards to maybe walking away or leaving someone or something behind. And I'm hearing for some of you, like, you left this thing behind because it was doing more damage than good, you know? So we have X as well. Another blue card. Let me see if the other two are blue. No, these two are green. I know this reading is not who's gossiping about you, but for a lot of you, it does feel like, you know, this doesn't even have to be in a romantic way, but certain people who are no longer in your life that could have played a significant part in your life, whether it's family, whether it is a previous, you know, relationship, or, you know, ex-friends, you know, whatever it may be. It feels like they're talking about you a lot as well. Anyways, so, well, do you have more from this card? There are a few people talking about how they would like to reconnect with you. But it feels like, in their perspective, they kind of find it very hard to reconnect with you, whether that be because you're out of reach now. Like, the Nine of Pentacles came out again to clarify a message. So for some of you, you know, even if you're not experiencing full independence right now, they do see you as more so, I don't know what the right phrase would be, like more so focused on yourself. Again, so last time the Nine of Pentacles came out, the Eight of Cups came out straight after. Like, that happened when the Nine of Pentacles came out earlier. So maybe you did leave something behind that was disappointing, you know, that was hurtful or sad, whatever it may be, to kind of focus on yourself, you know, maybe to be single, or kind of like, I don't know if isolated is the right word, but separated, you know, from people or an environment, whatever it may be. Okay, so we also have speak out. Communicate and resolve the conflicts. So there's definitely someone who's talking about how they would have preferred, or they would have liked, if you had communicated with them, or communicated more with them in order to resolve the conflicts. I don't know, maybe I don't know what the case may be for you individually, but yeah, there are certain people that are talking about how they would like to hear from you, or, you know, if there was a situation where you decided to stop communicating with someone or whatever it may be, they're kind of saying, okay, I wish you had communicated with them first before kind of like, I don't know if cutting them off is the right phrase, but yeah, maybe I can't even fucking say it, distancing yourself from them, or cutting communication with them, even if it's like just lessening communication with them. And finally, Actually, there is another person who is saying that they would love to, talk to you just so that you guys can sort through any conflicts and maybe get on a better page. And finally, we have gift of freedom, break away from your attachments. So there's a lot here about the past, breaking away from your attachments, detoxing, clearing negative energy, bathroom, flushing the shit. I don't know. It feels like for a lot of you, maybe you have walked away or you broke free from certain things, certain vices, people that weren't good for you. So there are a few people who gossip about, it's like maybe your freedom almost like came with a price, So maybe some of you found freedom or, individuality away from something, but at the same time, it's still hard on you, or it's still like you're kind of still trying to find your footing. So even though you found freedom, you're not entirely free, if that makes sense. But that's what people are gossiping about in regards to you. But the main message as well is that people are talking about how you have kind of broken away from your attachment to them. So whether this be a breakup, whether this be an ex-friend, family that you haven't spoke to for a minute. But yeah, they do say that you don't really have much of an attachment to them anymore. So if you do have any relationships like that in your life, then these are the people who are probably gossiping about you the most. But anyways, that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could be helpful, make sense, and all that good stuff. I'm wishing you the best, all right? Take care. Hi, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the second group, if you chose this card, this bird, or the quote, then this reading is for you, okay? So what is the gossip on you, whether you're asking about a group of people or a specific person or just in general, okay? So I will start off with your tarot cards. We have the Page of Wands upright and we have the King of Swords upright as well. Alright, so honestly, the gossip on you is that you are such a cool person, to hang out with. You're such a good character, you're such a good energy. They say, you can switch from playful to serious and kind of like vice versa, but people love that duality about you, that you can be serious but you can also be a lot of fun and playful. But regardless of whether you're serious or not, like your energy is genuine, I think that would be the right word, but and honest, and you still have good energy even when you are serious. People also talk about how you look super young, so much younger than, either what they know your age to be or what, they perceive your age to be. For some of you, this is just like, you just look youthful all round, you look very healthy, People talk about you possibly going to school. If any of you are going to school, people do gossip about that. If you've been to school previously and this has helped you out in certain ways, then people do talk about that. But for those of you who are going to school currently, or you're planning to go to school, or if you're learning something, even if it's not through school, people talk about that. And if it's not about school at all, then it could be you elevating your life in certain ways, or you've recently elevated. But if you do resonate with that last message, then they definitely talk about that being a good opportunity for you, or being good for you, or will kind of inevitably be good for you. But anyways, people gossip about you being spoiled and always getting what you want. People do talk about how creative you are as well. Something creative you may have done recently or currently doing, or maybe some of you are just kind of like creative in everything you do, whether this be through your appearance, or maybe that's what you do for a job, or something like a hobby or a talent that you have. But people do talk about you being creative, okay? People gossip about you being really kind, being really playful as well. They also talk about how intelligent you are or believe you are. People are talking a lot about your success though. It doesn't even have to be like career or financially related. Like it could definitely be success in other areas of your life, like kids, if you have kids, your friends, your friendships. I just think I just said that. Your friendships or your relationships, maybe your home, your skills, your talents. Like you could just be successful in general, like purely because you're happy and content and you're kind of just living a good life, Yeah, but people do gossip about how you have matured and how much you've grown over the years. They honestly talk about you being a completely different person, honestly, than who you used to be. People also gossip about you making other people feel optimistic. It's like you give people that inspiration, or you give people that confident boost. I mean, and this could be just through people watching you, like how far you've come. Like, wow, that shit's inspiring. Like, maybe I can do a little something for myself. But for others of you, maybe you uplift people through your words, through your art, if any of you are artistic. Or you could just be that person who just gives people that confidence boost, but whatever the case is, like that's what people talk about. And people really love that about you. Honestly, I don't even know if gossip is the right word, because it does have a bit of like a negative connotation to it. But yeah, it feels like people speak quite highly of you. Yeah, they talk about you being a strong and determined individual, and about you being very individualistic too. So a lot of you are very unique, which people talk about. They also gossip about you having a strong routine, that you're very hardworking. People do talk about how they have had some amazing conversations with you, or whether this is currently like, oh my god, like every time I see this person we have like great conversations, we have so much to talk about. But for others of you, like this is people who have come by you and you've had conversations with them, they're like, it kind of sticks with them, like they remember it. But yeah, like people do talk about you being a good conversationalist, or just remembering your words. Like maybe your words just have impact, like regardless of whether it was a long conversation or not. You definitely have impact, and that's what people talk about. People also gossip about you not being emotional. This could be any more, or this could be in general. But people do talk about you having more of a handle over your emotions. They definitely don't talk about you being like cold or reserved or emotionless or anything like that though. It's just like you having control over your emotions more than anything else. They also talk about you being a good leader. It feels like the majority of people honestly have nothing but good things to say about you. Or if you've asked about someone specific or a specific group of people, either way, they do speak extremely highly of you. Let's see what else we have. So we have cha-ching. It doesn't say cha-ching, but it says, so we have dollar signs, right? It says make it rain on the back. Let's see what that's about. What do people say about you? So yeah, it feels like people do talk about you being possibly well off, you know, whether they know this for a fact or something they assume, you know, maybe through your appearance or how healthy you are or the food you buy, I don't know, or what they see on social media. But people think or know for a fact that you are quite wealthy, and that's another thing they talk about. They do talk about your wealth. We also have apologize. Let's see what does it say on the back? Okay. All right, so there is someone who's talking to someone else and like just telling this person just fucking apologize already to you. Like there's someone who's urging someone else to apologize to you. I mean, that was clarified by the Seven of Swords, so they could have done something shady, you know, they could have been sly. Five of Swords, they could have created some type of conflict with you. Maybe they tried to spread things about you. For some of you, this could be someone, again, Two of Swords, they could have cheated. So yeah, there is someone who's urging another person to apologize to you. We also have they broke your heart, so that could very well be the person who is being urged to apologize to you. So if someone did hurt you, with all those cards that were coming out, Seven of Swords, Two of Swords, Five of Swords, if someone did hurt you, cheat on you, or, you know, acted shady, you know, this person is definitely being encouraged to apologize to you and kind of get right with you, get on a good page with you. Do you have more from this card? What does it say on the back? Fuck them. So there are a few people, or one or two people, who are talking about your love life, possibly an ex. And it's like, oh, like there's one person that's saying, oh my God, I wonder what happened between you and X. And this other person is like, oh, they broke up. Or maybe this person knows the tea on you and this person and what happened between you two. And yeah, there are maybe one or two people or a few people who are talking about that particular situation, you know. So we have, let me put this here, we have life lessons. So what does that say? You can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and the blessing that they contain. What is the cost? So, you know, I mean, with the Eight of Cups, if someone did hurt you in some way, you know, even if this was in the past, people gossip about how this person learned a lesson, you know, by doing something that they shouldn't have done. Like that you definitely taught them a lesson, or because of what they did, they were kind of taught a divine lesson, you know, that was maybe out of your hands, but, you know, maybe karma, and they experienced bad karma because of something that they did. But this is also coming through as like people do gossip about you being insightful, or you, I don't know if you go out of your way to teach people. Maybe some of you have a role where you're teaching people, like whether that be as a manager or a teacher, or, you know, whatever it may be. But people do talk about you teaching other people lessons, maybe you being insightful or you being knowledgeable. Like maybe some of you are, maybe you're always learning, and maybe you always kind of like pass on the things that you learn, pass on that knowledge. Okay, so we also have ready to love again. You've healed from the past enough to open up your heart to new love. So for some of you, for a lot of you actually, people, the Fool card, people are gossiping about you being ready to love again. Like you've been hurt in the past, but they do talk about you kind of like being healed. They do talk about you being, I don't know if over is the right word, but they definitely talk about you having overcome it. And that you could be ready to kind of explore your options and kind of seek out something new, or kind of just see what else is out there, you know, especially with that Page of Wands. So yeah, people could gossip about you being ready to explore, or they kind of like, oh my god, like I wonder if this person is ready to kind of see what their options are after X and Y happened with, you know, with their ex or whatever it may be talking about, you know. So yeah, some people are saying that you could be ready to love again. So we also have Cat. It says, take care of yourself and trust that if you do, you'll always land on your feet. So the gossip on you is that you are being taken care of, either by someone else or you're taking care of yourself. This definitely feels like more so for those of you who are like kind of taking care of yourself. Maybe putting yourself first, you know, stuff like that. But that's what people are talking about. So damn, we have school as well. So we had life lessons, we have school. Let's see. Oh yeah, and we had that kind of school message earlier as well with the Page of Wands. So yeah, some people could be discussing you going back to school. Or if any of you went back to school, like they're like talking about how this is like manifesting in your life right now. And we also have make friends. So the gossip on you is that you do seem a bit more social, that you could be making some new friends, opening up to other people. So when it was said ready to love again, I mean, that could be in regards to relationships, but it could just be in regards to meeting new people in general, you know, and like being more social. And finally, we have transformation. Let love transform you forever. So the gossip on you is that you have changed, you know, Nine of Pentacles, Judgment. Like maybe you did kind of go through, what's the judgment? It's like an awakening almost, you know. And maybe you came out as like the Nine of Pentacles, more independent or more like self-assured, or just taking care of yourself better. And people do talk about that, how you have transformed, but it is for the absolute best though, you know, more stable, more structured. Queen of Wands, the Emperor, how awesome. So yeah, people are seeing you in this kind of like fiery, oh my god, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands down here. So people could be seeing you in this passionate and fiery kind of energy. People also gossip about you looking extremely attractive right now. That's so funny, the Devil card. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could be helpful, resonate, what have you, okay? But I'm wishing you the best, all right? Take care. Bye. Hello, welcome. If you've chosen the third group, if you've chosen that moon card with this group, I mean with that quote, then this reading is for you. So what is the gossip on you, whether you're asking about a specific person, specific group of people, or just in general? Okay, so we have the Four of Swords, And we also have the Three of Wands. You know what, straight away I heard silent assassin, you know, even with that moon imagery in that card. And obviously people may not use those exact words to describe you, maybe someone does, but people definitely kind of gossip about you having that kind of silent, I don't want to say deadly, but maybe for some of you that's the case, but silent kind of energy to you. They may describe you as moving or progressing in silence, with the Three of Wands there as well. They may talk about you being secretive or just not super talkative. Like people may not, some people could perceive you as secretive, but for the most part, it feels like people are gossiping about you not being super talkative and forthright about what you have going on, like what you're doing, maybe what you're going through, or certain things that you've experienced. There are a few people talking about not knowing much about you, honestly, or if you did ask about a specific person, this person says they don't know much about you. There are a few people who also feel like you have a lot going on, so that's another thing they talk about. Like, I don't really know this person that well, but it kind of seems like they have a lot going on. They seem stressed, or they seem busy, or they seem like they're always like, it's like if I'm like you're in their presence, it seems like you're kind of focused on other things, you know, like in your brain, like you're present, but your mind isn't present, you know. But yeah, they kind of gossip about you not giving anything away. Like in their perception of you, you don't give a lot away. People could talk about you, maybe about you being shy and humble, and generally, again, just not being super talkative or super forthright, or maybe extroverted even. Like people could talk about you being reserved or a bit introverted. Yeah, people just say that you kind of keep to yourself, really, or this could be something that you're currently doing, like currently keeping to yourself. People do gossip about you potentially being troubled. They don't really know themselves for sure, but that's like why that's like what they speculate and why they speculate, because it's like it seems like this person is going through troubles, or they seem troubled. Like for some of you, you guys could be perceived as someone who has like their demons, you know, like they have, like people can't really put their finger on it. They don't really know, you know, and that's what people speculate. Like I don't even want to say gossip, but people do speculate, which I don't know. I guess gossip could be the right word, but yeah. But yeah, they definitely admit amongst themselves that they don't know, you know, like I'm just guessing. People do talk about you needing to rest, or you have a lifestyle that requires you to rest and recharge often. Yeah, people definitely talk about you needing a mental break, a detox, that you're mentally overwhelmed, or again, just have a lifestyle that causes you to be mentally overwhelmed, or you're going through a specific situation in this present moment that causes you to feel overwhelmed. People gossip about you being blessed and protected, like, you know, grand scheme, that you are a very blessed person, divinely protected, or maybe protected by certain people in your life. Maybe there's certain people in your life who are very protective over you. If some of you don't resonate with that, then it's definitely referring to divine protection for sure. They also gossip about how you are or seem to be a very honest and genuine person. People also talk about how they are inspired by you as well. They admire you, and there are a few people who are talking about how they would love to work with you more, or work closer to you. There is someone talking about possibly pursuing you, and there are other people gossiping about you being out of reach and talking about the distance between you and them, or just the distance between you and people in general, or certain people in general. But there is a specific person though talking about how they would love for that distance between you both to end, whether it's a mental distance, emotional distance, verbal, miscommunication differences, not talking, whatever it may be. They want that distance to end. Like, they don't want you to continue being out of reach. This could be an ex-friend or family member in particular who is saying this though. But yeah, people do talk a lot about you wanting to advance or about you wanting to be successful. They could definitely talk about you being focused on that, being very grounded in that energy as well, with that Knight of Pentacles and the Empress card. People do definitely think you will be successful. Like, people could see you in the Knight of Pentacles energy right now, and that's what they talk about. Like, you're hustling, you're doing this, you're doing that. But this is what they kind of ultimately feel about you, that Queen of Pentacles energy, or this is something that, you will attain in their perspective. So what else are they saying about you, my friends? All right, so we have, you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside you, listen to that. So with that Moon energy, the Four of Swords energy, you guys could be very intuitive, and people gossip about you being very intuitive. All right, so if there was a particular moment, was this recently? Maybe recently, where you kind of trusted your gut instinct on something, when you truly trusted your intuition on something, then people do gossip about this. Like, this person had a feeling and it turns out they were right, that you trusted yourself and you trusted your intuition or what your body was telling you, and yeah, and that you trusted yourself in that moment. So we also have take a trip. Yeah, people definitely talk about you needing a break. Alright, so we also have revealing your true self. As you allow others to know the real you, you feel love for who you truly are. So the gossip on you is that people generally would love to know more about you. They may feel kind of like like you're kind of like energetically repelling them. Like this could be energetically, this could even be through your body language. But they kind of feel like you are not necessarily inviting when it comes to like people knowing you, genuinely knowing you, or just intimately knowing you. So we also have natural beauty and authenticity. But even though you may not be completely open with other people, like people definitely gossip about you being true to yourself. Like people talk about you being genuine, authentic in who you are and what you believe in. Like, this is how I am. I'm not gonna change that to make other people feel comfortable. And even though people would love to know you more, like they kind of respect that about you for sure. People also gossip about you being very beautiful, being very naturally beautiful, being very down to earth. Like there's definitely this earthy, down to earth energy when it comes to you. A lot of pentacles came out upright to clarify that. So yeah. Yeah, so people definitely gossip about you being extremely attractive for sure. So we also have guide, follow in the footprints of greatness. So the people who do kind of get to like have intimate relationships with you, or maybe they don't necessarily have intimate relationships with you, but whatever the case is, it feels like there are a few people who are talking about how you give great advice, like you're a good guide, you're a good leader, you're a good person to follow. I think that message came up earlier about you being inspiring. So some of you could be like literally quite inspiring for people, like even if you're a person of very little words, to certain, in certain areas or groups of people, environments. Whatever you say does have impact, and that's what people say about you. So yeah, some people could say you give good advice. We also have bridge, stay strong and remain connected to what is important to you. So the gossip on you is that you are very strong and that you have been able to kind of remain connected to certain things that are important to you, even though it is difficult, even though it could be overwhelming for you. We also have imagination. I thought that said inspiration for a second, but we have imagination, draw from the well of your capabilities. So people also gossip about you being very self-reliant, being creative and imaginative as well. And finally, we have finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. So the gossip on you is that you found like your calling, your path in life, whatever that is. But yeah, people definitely talk about you having found purpose or something in your life that kind of gives you that purpose. So the gossip on you is that it does seem like you are trying or determined, or you care genuinely about finding your ultimate path in life, or that you are on a path and you're very steadfast in like achieving that. You're kind of remaining on this path and can be quite tunnel visioned when it comes to like remaining on a certain path you've set out for yourself, and that is what people talk about you anyways. But yes, that is all I have though for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it can resonate and be helpful and all that good stuff. But I'm wishing you the best, all right? Please take care of yourselves. Bye.